Why, hello, and welcome to that One Bronyshow, where me and Afro Circuit,
You didn't
I'm
name.
Plot Point,
There you go.
by the way. So,
We
we
just
talk
finished up
about
some.
the episode. So,
We just finished up some tasty milk, and with Oreos.
mmm, milk. It goes great with bones.
It goes very good with buns. So anyway, Afro Circuit, Plot
Plot
Point,
point.
and I have to just before ahead of time. Headsets. We're rocking them now. The mic I was using previously, it was originally completely on loan from my godmother, and she needed it back. So we're switching over to these until I can afford to get a nice $100 mic. Cause obviously I'm not just like farting money. So anyway, I'm Afro Circuit,
I'm thinking about him farting money. And
and
I'm also Plot Point.
and this is. It's that one brony show, not the other brony show. It's that one brony show. It's that one brony show, not that brony show. It's that one brony show.
What comes after 3?
Oh, that would be a 2, I believe.
So, 1, 2, 3, 2, 5?
I suppose so. I don't think there's any numbers missing from there. We said all the numbers we needed. So
All the other numbers with their pumped up kicks, you better run, faster than
my digit. All right. So in this episode, we're gonna be talking about Read It and Weep. Or also, as some of you may have found out and other of you are finding out now, it was
Reading
originally going to be called
Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow, but there was probably some legal issues behind it, obviously.
I don't know why PBS shouldn't be trying to sue anybody.
Yeah, if anything, they should be glad about the reference, and they don't even show it anymore. Like
They
used
don't?
to yeah, they used to show it really like first it used to be a regular show, then they showed it really early in the morning, and now it's gone. So anyway, it was supposed
Thus,
to be
the days of our childhood
no.
fade to obscurity.
So either way though, it was supposed to be called Reading Rainbow, but they changed it to Read and Weep. So obviously, RD fans were squeeing with joy with this episode. Like, I mean, altogether, all bronies were squeeing with joy with this episode, but definitely Rainbow Dash
Finally, something
fans.
beside Apple.
Yeah, we
So many apples.
so much Apple heavy stuff this season. So it was nice to have an episode that focused on another character. And so, obviously, like there are a lot of Rainbow Dash lovers out there, so they definitely loved this episode. Cause one of the big things was it gave Rainbow Dash a new label, and that label is adawwable. She's just so adawwable in this episode.
And
So
egghead.
so this episode, it starts out just fairly mundane. There, we've got Rarity, Twilight, and Pinkie Pie watching Rainbow Dash do some
Rainbow
aerial
Dash,
stunts.
do some sweet tricks.
Yeah,
Rip it up,
to make
Tony
them.
Hawk style.
And also, I wanted to make note of this. Pay attention to their eyes in this scene. Damn
Freaky.
right, creepy.
Freaky.
So, but they're watching her fly around, and then obviously, and then so we obviously get our daily dose of Pinky randomness, and that's her inexplicable ability to rotate her head
I've nearly done it.
around a
Ugh.
full
Ugh.
720 degrees.
I
then-
think there was like 3 rotations in
no,
there.
it was just 2. 1, 2, and then her whole body unwinds around that. So she's basically like anatomy. I'm Pinkie Pie. So screw logic. She's Pinkie Pie. We have to go with that. So then we get the moment that obviously answered all of our questions. We're like, what could take down Rainbow Dash?
And
So-
it's off screen.
And it's off screen. Apparently, hitting the ground is all it takes. Even
We
though
don't know that that was what happened. For all we know, a rift in time and space and giant, huge monsters could have come out of it and fought Rainbow Dash to near death.
well, either
Yeah,
way.
don't judge if you haven't seen it off screen. It may be implied, but that doesn't mean it's true.
Either way, she's hit mountains, had rocks fall on top of her. She's gotten through a lot of different situations completely unscathed. So it's
Maybe she was attacked by one of the things that's basically the most powerful thing. Angel. Angel was just like, whoop-pow!
Wow, don't you be crashing in front of me.
And her
So
wings snapped.
obviously we get our question answered, or at least moderately answered, as to how she becomes injured. And then one thing I want to make note of is their lack of a worried response.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Ay, 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 ay! Oh! So much for dazzling.
She hits the ground and like, ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Well, they are nigh unkillable. They probably just thought, oh, it's a minus
Should we help her? I don't know. She's not moving. Maybe we should call someone. Let's wait and see if she moves.
Who do we call? Ghostbusters!
So, anyway, I wanted to make a note of that. Their response was pretty slow, but apparently they got her to the hospital pretty fast. I mean, obviously.
Well, Twilight can just teleport there.
This is true. Maybe that's why they took their time. They're just like, Twilight, you can just teleport.
It's faster than ambulance ponies.
So,
If there are ambulance ponies.
So
How would ambulance ponies work? Is there an ambulance chariot?
Yeah,
Is there an
it would be a
ambulance
chariot.
wagon?
It would be a wagon or a chariot, just like any other mode of transportation, like the cabs or just they're they're just rickshaws. So then we obviously we get the moment where Rainbow Dash opens her eyes back up from whatever unconscious state
From
she was in.
thousands and thousands of random pass out scenes in movies.
So we get Pinkie Pie's. Is her face gonna stay like that? That seems to be Pinkie Pie's only concern. But then again, she is Pinkie Pie, and faces are pretty important.
Is she gonna be okay? Oh, I'm so worried. Is her face gonna stay that way?
Yeah. They're really important. A good face will get you on the front page.
So then we get to the next part. How obviously they tell her the basic stuff like you're gonna have to stay in the hospital for a few days and stay off your wing and whatnot. And then this just won't stand for Rainbow Dash because obviously she's gonna be bored out of her mind.
Rainbow Dash,
We'll get to
friendly
that.
neighborhood Rainbow.
But then we get to the part where
Runs a web,
obviously
size, catches thieves. Like
or actually no,
thieves.
that is the next thing.
Dun,
So
dun,
that-
here comes the Rainbow Dash.
yeah, so
Like a streak of rainbow light, she arrives just in time.
Rainbow Dash,
Dash, Rainbow Dash,
friendly
neighborhood Rainbow Dash.
You guys have got to get me out of here. I'm gonna climb the walls. Ooh, just like a spider. Did the crash somehow give her super duper spider powers?
So we get a nice little Spider-Man reference. The whole thing about how Rainbow Dash, her exact quote is, I'm gonna start climbing the walls, and she's like, "Ooh, did you get spider powers? Did she get spider powers?" So of course,
Neither did she get Wolverine powers.
so Spider Pony,
Spider Pony.
and then
implied earlier on too.
oh, and I also forgot
Daredevil.
to mention this. Her Rainbow Dash's roommate, the poor body cast pony.
And look, you have a roommate.
What happened to him?
She broke a pinky promise.
What could have happened to him? I'm pretty sure it's a colt.
Oh really? I thought it like the color like what colt would what colt would be colored that? They tend to make colts like a more masculine color.
Well, he is a throwaway pony.
Yeah,
Plus,
just-
he's, sort of disabled.
I
and-
just imagine like after you said that I imagined him being tossed into a dumpster out of the side of the hospital. But I do admit
So
now that you
sadness.
mention it, his head is rather cultish. but we only see a casted head, so we don't know. That might not be the actual shape of his face. I think that it's a she, but you're very right. It could be he based upon
It's a he, she.
body shape.
Maybe he just went through some surgery.
So, anyway.
Well, I'm in here with all these broken limbs. Might as well.
So, obviously Twilight is our adorable little bookworm, and then she sees that there's obviously, seeing how ponies don't have TV or video games, most of their she grabs her a book. And note that this book cart just goes idly by. It's almost as if it's meant to tantalize ponies. Like, be like, I'm really bored. Ooh, books! Oh, they're not bringing me any.
You're not even asking me, and I can't get up. I've fallen, and I can't get up.
So
don't worry, with Pony Life.
So this is the part where Twilight grabs a copy of Daring Do, and what was the subtext for this one?
And the Temple of the... Sure, give me some time.
Yeah, it's the Temple of something, but then of course Rainbow Dash is like, no! No! Because obviously, only eggheads read books.
And the Temple of the Sapphire...
Stone?
Something.
Yeah, but so of course Rainbow Dash is like, no, I'm not an egghead. And so then everyone leaves, and so she goes through these stages of boredom. So these stages of boredom include things like...
Stage 1. I have one thing to do. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh my god, it's gone. Stage 2. Tell all your lame jokes.
To get to the other side! Get it? Never mind.
Stage 3. Everything becomes interesting at this point of time. Like pressing a light. Over and over again! Stage 5. Acceptance. Read the goddamn book.
So after all of these scenes take place, the book's just like, read me. And so she finally gives in. So then we get our first context of the story of Daring Do and this Crystal Temple or Sapphire Temple.
I've got to admit, from the sounds of this, though a great book in idea, it was horribly written.
Horribly.
There's no introduction. There's no setting of the scene. We have no idea about Daring Do. Is she just randomly in the jungle for no odd reason? How did she get there? Why is she searching for this temple? It's like Rainbow Dash just picked a page in the middle of the book and started reading.
I remember though, you made note of this in that at the very end of the episode, it's the first book in the series, but it's the third on the shelf.
Yeah, but that's
Prequels.
because prequels. But
Exactly,
the
so the
prequel shouldn't
prequels-
be setting the stage if that's the first book made.
What if they came out first? I mean, yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was meant to be that way. Maybe the writer was being clever. It's just like how...
Or maybe it just makes no sense.
The game Halo came out before the book Fall of Reach, which explains how you get into Halo.
Well, that's because it's game logic. You're supposed to wind up in a prison with no idea why you're there.
Well, either way...
That way they can just go, ignore everything!
So, either way, though, this is
Ignore it!
This is a fun
Ignore!
a fun little classic Indiana Jones temple run kind of idea. And so, first of all, we get these 5 different kinds of cats. And each one of these is from a different continent or country.
Every step.
Except for the jaguar and I think the house cat.
The jaguar? No, the house cats, like our house cats, originate from Africa and Egypty kind of areas. So yeah, every single one of them should
Except the
not be in the
jaguar.
same place. They should all not be in the same place, but they are. And so
The Jaga Mountain Lion.
yeah, so we get this scene where
It's in the right place, people.
yeah, so we get this scene where they have where she has to
the
avoid
idea
them, and of course she jumps over the adorable house cat. Same house cat from Find a Pet that had the derp face, might I add. And so she makes her way to this temple. And so inside the temple, of course, it's a temple. It has to have traps.
Apparently, it's the only temple in the entire jungle.
So, of course, this temple has to have these intricate traps, but Danger
Because
Do.
ancient people were really, really good at setting up all these things. I have no idea why. And moreover, they're not set off because nobody goes there. It makes perfect sense, no matter what universe you're in. Trust me. It makes perfect sense.
So, Danger Do, she dodges every trap with flying colors like a boss, including alligators from the ceiling. And we're supposed to somehow assume that these alligators remained alive for eons and eons instead of being...
Like I said, they just tie themselves up.
So, she dodges all these things. She
Maybe
has to
they're the
solve-
ones that reset the traps. They were trained by the ancients to train later alligators to do the exact same thing.
That would be pretty I mean, they are the only living things in there to maintain things, I suppose. So, anyway, she solves all these puzzles and traps, and then, she finally gets to the statue, and then she's like, careful. Screw it. So, then of course, it obviously can't be that easy. So, lava.
The floor is now lava.
So she of course has to escape, and then she gets she manages. First of all,
Look at the sapphire. Now back to me. Look at the sapphire. Now back to me. The floor is now lava.
So she manages to jump this super far distance, and with her jaws of steel, clamp onto the edge of the hole.
Yeah,
in the top
she
of the
can
temple.
jump so far because she still has one wing.
Yeah,
That's like half
but
power
there's
Pegasus.
still the jaws
fly.
of steel. Just
Well,
supporting
ponies
your
have
whole-
naturally strong jaws because they have to pick everything up with it that they can't hold in their hooves.
Yeah, so then she escapes the temple, and then also just wanted to let you know we're gonna go through the entire Daring Do story and then continue back on to the actual story of the episode. So obviously then she gets launched out of the temple as all this steam and lava comes flying out, face plants onto the ground, drops the statue.
Also, I want to mention her pithy helmet. It's very pithy.
It's a pithy helmet.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we get this Awizodal named Awizodal. Like according to my research, if you ever watch Magic School Bus, good show. But
magic
this is
claws.
it's like an ancient Egyptian or it's some mythological creature called an Awizodal, and so they chose to just name it His name is Awizodal, with these
What's
freaky
with
little
his
eyes. Like
eyes?
he's got this giant head, but his eyes are on the front, and so
Makes no sense. And he has an arm for a tail.
yeah,
When nothing has hands.
he's this freaky character, and so
And we have no idea why he hates Daring Do or what he's going to do with
yeah,
this statue. Like I said, this thing has very many plot holes.
And so, I'm gonna talk about some of the interruptions in the story after we're done. So, I'm gonna go ahead and skip over what happens when we first meet Awizodal. And so then the next scenes that we get is Awizodal manages. First of all, the cats have gained deadly weapons. So
Of
now they're not
course.
just they're not just cats of
They
prey.
apparently failed the first time, so
So
you've
they
got
had
to
to
get
give
him
'em-
something better.
Yeah, like a mace and rope.
The only problem is he doesn't use his deadly cats. He just ties her up.
Yeah, so he doesn't use his deadly cats to maim or hurt her. No. He ties her up. He ties her up onto one of those little pedestal things. But no. That isn't enough. He lifts a switch. Spike walls. We're like, all right, we've seen the spike walls before. Spike walls? Heck no.
Poisonous
Let's throw some
spiders.
spiders. Spiders not enough? Yeah, so let's throw in some cobras.
Snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes?
And you know what? Just to seal the deal, quicksand. And not just that. The quicksand pours out of the walls, so thus she's lifted by the sand, then sinks back into said sand. So first of all, she's going to be bitten by two different venomous and dangerous creatures, then suffocate from being sunk in quicksand, then crushed to death by the spike walls. Now, he definitely learned from the villain's book of mistakes to make, and that's to leave a reasonable way out. But yet, our friend still manages to find an inexplicable way out.
The
And
problem was the switch was on the inside.
Yeah, that was his one flaw.
If you're going to destroy your arch nemesis and your evil, here's how you do it. Shoot them in the head. Then the heart. Then cut the head off. Burn the body. Then scatter the ashes to the 7 continents. It's the easiest way to get rid of superheroes.
That probably would
Then
be the
do a
best way.
special spell to make sure that their soul can no longer enter this plane of existence.
Get an evil enchantress that will do
Do
evil
evil
dances,
dances,
and
and
when
when
you
she
look
look
into
into
his
his
eyes, they will put you in trances. And what will they do?
She'll banish the spirit of the hero from the universe.
So, then of course, she uses her pithy hat, which somehow gains stretchy attributes, even though it was helmet-like in previous scenes.
Well, only the helmety part is helmety. The rest is...
She stretches the whole hat. So, she launches it, bounces around, hits the switch, she's free to go.
Maybe she's got super pony strength.
And that's another thing, why would you make the switch have a reverse option? Like, turn off the switch, all the traps go away? Why not just have them turn
Well,
off?
sometimes you're just standing there and you accidentally turn it on. You're like, oh...
So anyway, of course she escapes, and then she swings in. The guy's like, I am victorious. We still have no idea what he plans to
I
accomplish.
will rule the world with this random bubble, apparently, and my evil cats. In fact, I probably could have done this with just the cats.
So and then of course the story ends with her swinging, stealing it, and then running off into the sunset. So
Dun, dun, dun.
now I get to talk about the interruptions that occur during this story. So obviously, our first interruption is this occurs promptly when Twilight, or no, it was Pinkie Pie. Oh no, so actually it comes before that. When did they interrupt them for the pony battleship? It was
Yeah, that's Twilight and Fluttershy.
Yeah, there we go. So,
Twilight and Fluttershy just walking
Yeah, so
all
they-
like, hey Rainbow Dash, we heard you were bored, so we found some free time, and we got your favorite game,
Pony
Battleship.
We brought your favorite board game. We know how much you like to win. You go first, Rainbow Dash. No, you first. All right. Cloud 3.
Aw, shucks, you rained on my cumulus. Go again.
Sky 5.
Whoa, you found my seagull.
Cloud 2.
You zapped my weather pony. You stung my bumblebee. Oh, my thunderbolt. And that's my last cloud. You found it. Guess you guys win. I lose.
so we have
Based with, like, clouds and stuff.
Yeah, so, oh, and also another thing I wanted to make a note of is that, if you didn't notice, and obviously, and most of us noticed this, and that's that Danger Do is Rainbow Dash's voice, but with a cleaner, smoother tone to, like, it's like Rainbow Dash
It's
out
British
of college.
Rainbow Dash.
British Rainbow Dash. So it has this nice little clean tone. It was an interesting
And
way
also,
to hear her voice.
she's basically the same pony form with monochrome.
Yeah,
color,
monochrome hair and one colored body.
just grayscale hair and yellowish body.
Yeah, so obviously, so back to Pony Battleship. So we've got like rained on my cumulus, stung my bumblebee,
You found my seagull.
So we've got all these different concepts. So obviously,
Yeah,
we're crossing
great.
our fingers and
My
waiting.
thunderbolt.
We're waiting for some creative brony to obviously make us some Pony Battleship using the pieces described. And so of course, Rainbow Dash, she makes sure that she loses so she can get rid of them as fast as possible. So of
By
course she
cheating.
lies. By cheating against herself. And then she's like, "Oh, I lost." And so, yeah, she does have this little horse neigh, and then to get rid of them, she does this nice little fake nap time for me.
It's nap time for me.
Phew. Phew. Glad we could cheer you up. Phew. Phew.
Choo, choo, choo.
And she does the obvious, are you watching me sleep? And Twilight's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm just gonna leave. I want to point this out. This is what you all look like when you fake sleep. Every one of us.
So that was just an adorable little scene. So she shoots them off. Then she continues reading the story. So now we get to the interjection where we first meet Awizodel, and then it immediately cuts to an interruption. And that's it. The first thing we hear coming from Awizodel's mouth is Pinkie Pie's voice saying, "Hi, Rainbow Dash." Or no, "Hello, Rainbow Dash."
Hello, Rainbow Dash.
That's a strange thing for a random weird creature thing to say.
Yeah, so first of all, we're like, oh, and then we're like, obviously Pinkie. So then Pinkie, Rarity, and Apple.
She breaks the
AJ
fourth wall
come in.
both ways.
And one brony actually made reference to this. I made a video clip for it, and it actually, he's right. It's breaking the second wall in there. That would be breaking the second wall. So yeah. So anyway, she breaks the second wall, and so then they come in, and then they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" So obviously the next thing she does to get rid of them, luckily saved by the bell, the nurse pony brings in Rainbow Dash's horrible hospital food.
Hospital food.
So
It's got jello.
It has jello. The jello looks pretty good. Then we have this mushed up.
The jello is kind of weird in this universe because it's made out of the cartilaginous pieces of, random hoofed animals. You think that would be kind of taboo.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she's
That
just
and glue.
That and glue. They shouldn't have glue. By the way, Hasbro made glue sticks. Not cool. Not cool,
cool at
Hasbro.
all.
So she eats and she's like, "Ah, rah, 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 rah," and
Oh
it's-
my, Applejack, that sure is a that sure is a scary looking machine you got over there. Now I promise you won't be hurt if you just walk into that little door right there. Oh God, my
But so
cows are intelligent too, people.
yeah, so she eats the food all messily and so they're like, okay, we're gonna go. So then she keeps on reading, and then so the next interruption that we get in her story is when she stays up all night reading, and then it's time for her to be discharged from the hospital, and they don't even let her finish her book. So they discharge her from the hospital, and so now we lead to the biggest issue in this, and that's that how is she going to finish the story? She wants to know how it ends. We want to know how it ends. The pony in the cast who had to listen to her reading it louder and louder out loud probably wants to know how it ends.
Or he just wants the suffering to end. Please, end my suffering.
So
Just unplug the machines.
So first of all, I want to make note. They shove her out the door in a wheelchair. They're just like, get out of here. Just shove her
And
out the
take
door.
this wheelchair, even though you don't need it. Really?
Yeah, and so yet again, the whole knees thing, how their knees are able to bend that way. And so they shove her out the door, and so then she has this dilemma of how she has to figure out how to get back to the book, because she can't ask Twilight because she called her an egghead for this for reading. So she obviously has to resort to stealing the book.
It's the only way.
So, first of all, what kind of hospital is this? It has security
Well,
that
not all-
patrols the bases?
Well, they've got like pony medicine, whatever that is, and pony bandages and slippers.
So, she first of all, she
Ninja.
puts on her little burglar ninja
Dun,
outfit,
Dun,
makes her
dun,
the
dun,
most
dun,
adorable
dun,
thing
dun,
ever,
dun,
and so
dun,
she
dun,
just
dun,
goes
dun,
sneaking around inside the hospital, despite there being security ponies and everything. So she manages to work her way back to her room, but then there's a problem. There's a pony in her bed. Now, me and Richard came up with our own concept for him, but I also can't believe I didn't think of this as well, and that's that we have this there's two things. Either he's a cancer pony, which makes it super sad because it means that cancer exists in the pony universe. Or B, he's a pony back from Afghanistan being treated for wounds.
Pony
received.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, pony Afghanistan being treated for wounds from battle. But either way,
Either way, it's
you
kind
have
of
to feel.
sad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Or maybe he just likes to shave his head.
But
It's improbable.
I like the
You've gotta
Afghan
consider.
pony one because at least it's not just pure sad. Like at least there's like a bit of heroism behind it.
Plus, at least they're getting their veterans healthcare
Yeah,
over there.
exactly. What do we do for ours? Street for you. You get a box.
Here's this saw. You can use it on your leg. It has some tetanus.
So anyway, she finds the book.
I know I'm horrible, people.
She finds the book under the bed and keeps reading it, and so this gets to the interjection where the sand is filling up in the room, and she's got to escape the spike walls, cobras, spiders, and quicksand.
Cobra!
Cobra! So she gets to reading a couple of minutes of it,
G.I. Joe
and then
reference.
all of a sudden
Try
one of the
finding out.
spiders just goes, "Burglar! Burglar!"
Help! Burglar! Burglar! Someone's trying to steal my slippers!
I'm not trying to steal your slippers. I'm trying to steal this book.
And we're like,
Spiders can talk?
and so of course we automatically
What's
learn
she
that
burgling?
we learn that it's Afghan/cancer pony, and so he's like, "Burglar! Doctor, someone's trying to steal my slippers.
Slippers are really important to this.
I'm not trying to steal your slippers. I'm just trying to steal this book.
Oh, that's so much better. I'm sorry.
So, of course, then immediately the alarm is set off. And so she has to make a break for it. And then we get there's a nurse pony. The doctor has fangs in this scene for some reason.
It's a whole entire bunch of scenes which reflect the exact happenings in the book. It's life reflecting art, reflecting life, reflecting art, reflecting life.
Of course, she reflects a lot of the stuff that she learned in the story. So she jumps over the cute little intern nurse pony, and then her wing
nurse
cramps.
pony.
Yeah, so her wing cramps up and she falls. She hits the book cart and loses the book, so she just has to go for it. So she runs for it. So the next thing is, yet again, what kind of hospital is it? They organize a search party to chase after her like
they
a
were
runaway
bored.
slave. So they chase her around. And no, this isn't just like security or orderly. No,
They
it's
were
the
bored.
doctor and the nurses.
Hey, no pony invited me!
And
They
so
were bored.
they chase after her with flashlights in mouth, and so they're running. There's a scene where Rainbow Dash swings across a chasm, even though there's a bridge. Because of course she has to reenact the scenes from the book. They run around, waking up Pinkie Pie, Rarity,
In her silk pajamas. Which books are apparently as good as.
and then
Must have been Saturday.
somehow wakes up Applejack and Fluttershy, even though they're completely on the other side of town. And then they eventually end up running around.
And also out in the woods and away from any human life form. Well, pony life form, anyway.
Yeah, so they end up at Twilight's house, and so they stop, and then we get the doctor saying, "Rainbow Dash, what's going on? Why are you stealing slippers?" And then of course everyone's just wondering what's going on with Rainbow Dash. So this one is just I've gotta. Every single time we have an episode, I get a reason to say this, and that's that we love you, DHX. We love you with all of our hearts.
You're
And
good
that
people.
is Crazy Barking Pony.
Hey, get back to the hospital.
Now, a few people have made clips of it. I've made clips of it. My clip has 500. When I checked, 555 exactly. So my video has 555, and of course, we just all have to love this crazy pony. And I've taken to calling her Screw Loose, and she's I think that, and everyone knows that she has to be related to Screwball, which was in the Discord episode, the second the disharmony thing. But so that was just hilarious. They're just rough. Hey, you get back to the hospital, and then of course the security pony has to chase her down. So that was just something completely random that they threw in, and it also explains why there was a dog barking during the entire chase scene. They just let her follow along, and they didn't even seem to notice. Just Crazy Barking Pony charged after. So then Applejack comes over and says, "What's causing all the ruckus?" It's more of a fracas.
Fracas!
Fracas! So, of course, Applejack wants to say ruckus. Pinkie Pie says it should be fracas. I personally, I'm feeling fracas. I like fracas.
I say it's a clatter.
A clatter.
There arose such a clatter that all of them woke to see what was the matter. 'Twas the night before Heartswarming Eve, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a spider. When suddenly some pony saw Rainbow Dash underneath her bed, all cozy and warm, and he said, "Someone's stealing my slippers!"
So this
I'm
one.
not going to continue, people.
So then of course Rainbow Dash gets to the part where she admits to being an egghead. She's just, I'm an egghead, and then we learn
They
this.
resolve their issues a lot faster than most sitcoms.
Yeah, obviously there's the whole Rainbow Dash. You didn't need to.
It would have been like 5 seasons before.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash, you didn't need to hide this from us. It's completely okay to read. You don't have to be smart. So of course this is that classic childhood lesson that we all know and love. And so
And I'm glad they pointed it out because a lot of people need more readings. Readings, people.
yeah,
Do
the
it.
illiteracy.
It's super fun.
We shouldn't really have an illiteracy rate. If you have trouble reading, get some help. Learn to read.
Zero.
Heck, I'll even teach you if you want to. I'll do my best.
The
although-
A makes the A sound.
So of course.
And no, that's not A. It sounds like ah.
So, of course, and then Spike finally gets his chance to write the letter. Isn't prepared. Scumbag Spike.
He's sweeping up your mess, and you're gonna be all like, plus he's all like athletic and smart. He'll do it. He's got time.
Yeah, but anyway, so Spike finally gets a chance to write a letter. He doesn't get to do that a lot
Spike, both athletic and smart, perfect for the ladies.
The ladies.
Why,
Sexy
ladies,
and
I
he
see
knows
your. Why, ladies, I see you love my fine moustache.
So, this was an adorable episode for Rainbow Dash, a great lesson to be learned, and lots of fun and references to be had by all. So, I
It's a
love
good
this episode. I even, and then obviously, this is probably going to be a lot of Rainbow Dash fans' favorite episodes from now on. And of course, the best lesson of all to learn from this, reading leads to petty theft.
Mm-hmm.
Know to read, but don't read frequently. It will drive you to steal.
I know it drove me to steal.
So,
I stole pencils from other people. And they were like, dude, where's my pencils? And I'm like, where's my gum? They were like, okay.
like I said,
It's true, it happens, people.
yeah, so I love this episode. You should too.
It's a great episode.
So that wraps up our message for today. So like I said, we're working hardware wise. We still haven't, funds are still a little tight, so I still need to get a video card for my computer, and then after that all my money is going towards the web show. So then we'll be able to get a better video camera for you guys, so you guys can see us in glorious 1080p. You can see our beautiful faces and my fabulous hair. And Richard's fabulous hair. And then, of course, we'll also invest in...
fabulous.
We'll invest
What do
in...
you use? L'Oreal, because I'm worth it.
And then, chances are, like, I realized that at one point you may have seen, like, me sit back, and I realized that I was really close to Richard, so we're probably gonna have some echoing issues, and I significantly apologize for that. I'm gonna try to work on my audio editing skills, so we can fix that echo problem. And then eventually, once we get back to one mic, then obviously there won't be an echo problem, and it'll be a really good mic, so we'll get amazing sound quality out of it. So, my apologies on the technical... Like a boss!
Yeah.
And clear. This episode. So, I'm your host, Afro Circuit,
Plot point.
and thank you for tuning in.
And you're going.